Okay, so this video is just logs. Again, like the last one, I'm just going to override. But it'll go through.
Captain's log, stardate 1513.1. Our position, orbiting planet M113. On board the Enterprise, Mr. Spock, temporarily in command. On the planet, the ruins of an ancient and long-dead civilization. Ship Surgeon McCoy and myself are now beaming down to the planet's surface. Our mission, routine medical examination of archaeologist Robert Crater and his wife Nancy. Routine, but for the fact that Nancy Crater is that one woman in Dr. McCoy's past. Captain's log. Additional entry. Since our mission was routine, we had beamed down to the planet without suspicion. We were totally unaware that each member of the landing party was seeing a different woman. A different Nancy Crater. Captain's log, stardate 1513.4. In orbit around planet M113. One crewman, member of the landing party, dead by violence. Cause unknown. But we are certain the cause of death was not poison. Captain's log, stardate 1513.8. I am now certain that the violent death of my crewman was caused by some strange life form. Captain's log, additional. Armed and able-bodied crewmen are not attacked and slaughtered this easily. Apparently the killer can immobilize them as it approaches, perhaps with some hypnotic or paralyzing power. The answer lies with Professor Crater. Captain's log, continuing. The Enterprise has been invaded by a creature capable of assuming any form, and with a capacity to paralyze and draw the life from any one of us. Captain's log, stardate 1533.6, now maneuvering to come alongside cargo vessel Antares. Its captain and first officer are beaming over to us with an unusual passenger. Captain's log, stardate 1533.7. We have taken aboard an unusual passenger for transport to colony Alpha 5. Charles Evans, the sole survivor of a transport crash 14 years ago. The child, alone from age 3, has not only survived, but has grown to intelligent, healthy adolescence. Captain's log, stardate 1535.8. USPA headquarters notified of the mysterious loss of science probe vessel Antares. Captain's log, stardate 1312.4. The impossible has happened. From directly ahead, we're picking up a recorded distress signal. The call letters of a vessel which has been missing for over 2 centuries. Did another Earth ship once probe out of the galaxy as we intend to do? What happened to it out there? Is this some warning they've left behind? Captain's log, stardate 1312.9. Ship's condition, heading back on impulse power only. Main engines burned out. The ship's space warp ability, gone. Earth bases, which were only days away, are now years in the distance. Our overriding question now is, what destroyed the Valiant? They lived through the barrier just as we have. What happened to them after that? Stardate 1313.1. We're now approaching Delta Vega, course set for a standard orbit. This planet, completely uninhabited, is slightly smaller than Earth, desolate but rich in crystal and minerals. Kelso's task, transport down with a repair party. Try to regenerate the main engines, save the ship. Our task, transport down a man I've known for 15 years. And if we're successful, maroon him there. Captain's log, Stardate 1313.3. Note commendations on Lieutenant Kelso and the engineering staff. In orbit above us, the engines of the Enterprise are almost fully regenerated. Balance of the landing party is being transported back up. Mitchell, whatever he's become, keeps changing, growing stronger by the minute. Captain's log, Stardate 1313.8. Add to official losses, Dr. Elizabeth Dana. Be it noted she gave her life in performance of her duty. Lieutenant Commander Gary Mitchell. Same notation. Captain's log. Our position. Orbiting Psi 2000. An ancient world, now a frozen wasteland. About to rip apart in its death throes. Our mission? Pick up a scientific party below. Observe the disintegration of the planet. Captain's log, Stardate 1704.2. The science party we were to have picked up has been found dead. Life support systems had been turned off, station personnel frozen to death. Conditions highly unusual. Meanwhile, we remain in orbit to complete our mission. Close scientific measurement of the breakup of this planet. Captain's log supplemental. Our orbit tightening. Our need for efficiency critical. But unknown to us, a totally new and unusual disease has been brought aboard. Captain's log, Stardate 1704.4. Ship out of control, spiraling down towards planet Psi 2000. We have 19 minutes of life left, without engine power or helm control. Captain's log, supplemental. The Enterprise spiraling down out of control. Ship's outer skin heating rapidly due to friction with planet atmosphere. Captain's log, Stardate 1672.1. Specimen gathering mission on planet Alpha 177. Unknown to any of us during this time, a duplicate of me, some strange alter ego, had been created by the transporter malfunction. Captain's log, Stardate 1672.9. On the planet's surface, temperatures are beginning to drop. Our landing party there in growing jeopardy. Due to the malfunction of the ship's transporter, an unexplained duplicate of myself definitely exists. Captain's log, Stardate 1673.1. Something has happened to me. Somehow, in being duplicated, I have lost my strength of will. Decisions are becoming more and more difficult. Captain's log, Stardate 1673.5. Transporter still inoperable. My negative self is under restraint in sickbay. My own indecisiveness growing. My force of will steadily weakening. On the planet, condition critical. Surface temperature is 75 degrees below zero. still dropping.
Captain's log, stardate 1673.1. Entry made by Second Officer Spock. Captain Kirk retains command of this vessel, but his force of will rapidly fading. Condition of landing party critical. Transporter unit still under repair.
Captain's log, stardate 1329.8. The USS Enterprise in pursuit of an unidentified vessel. Captain's log, stardate 1329.1. We have taken aboard from unregistered transport vessel its captain and 3 unusual females. These women have a mysterious magnetic effect on the male members of my crew, including myself. Explanation unknown at present. Captain's log, stardate 1329.2. On board the USS Enterprise, a ship's hearing is being convened against the transport vessel's captain. I am becoming concerned about the almost hypnotic effect produced by the women. Captain's log, stardate 1330.1. Position 14 hours out of Rigel 12. We're on auxiliary impulse engines. Fuel low, barely sufficient to achieve orbit over the planet. Lithium replacements are now imperative. The effect of Mudd's women on my crew continues to grow, still totally unexplained. Harry Mudd is confined to his quarters under guard. Captain's log. Transporting down to surface of planet Rigel 12 to acquire replacement lithium crystals. Expect further difficulty from miners. Captain's log. Have transported aboard the Enterprise to implement search with infrared scanners and sensing system. Magnetic storms on the planet's surface are cutting down speed and efficiency of our equipment. Search now in progress for 3 hours, 18 minutes. Captain's log. Have expended all but 43 minutes of power. Ship's condition critical. Search now in progress, 7 hours, 31 minutes. Magnetic storms are easing. Captain's log, stardate 2712.4. A signal from planet XO3. Dr. Roger Corby has been located. He and part of his expedition remaining alive due to the discovery of underground ruins left by the former inhabitants of this world.
One thing I like about this is you can...
Captain's log. A signal from planet XO3. Dr. Roger Corby has been alive due to the discovery of underground ruins of this world. Captain's log, stardate 2713.5. In the distant reaches of our galaxy, we have made an astonishing discovery. Earth-type radio signals coming from a planet which apparently is an exact duplicate of the Earth. It seems impossible, but there it is. Captain's log, stardate 2713.6. The building Mary led us to also housed an automatic transmission station, which sent out the signals that drew us to this planet. We also discovered something else. That the blue splotches characteristic of the unknown disease had appeared on each of us, with the exception of Mr. Spock. There was a well-equipped laboratory in the building. Dr. McCoy took tissue samples of each of us in an attempt to isolate the organism responsible. Captain's log. Dr. McCoy's biocomputer and a portable electronic microscope have been beamed down from the Enterprise. They will be used in conjunction with computer banks on board ship. second day of the 7 left to us. We have found nothing. The Enterprise is standing by with its labs, computers ready to assist us. But there's no data. No starting point. Captain's log, stardate 2717.3. 3 days, 7 hours left to us. Investigation proves that the supply of food left in the area is running dangerously low. Unless something is done, the children will starve in a few months. In addition, the disease is working on each of us according to Dr. McCoy's prediction. Our tempers are growing short, and we are no further along than we were 2 days ago. Captain's log, stardate 2715.1. Exchanged cargo with penal colony on Tantalus 5. Have departed without going ashore. Captain's log, stardate 2715.2. Standard orbit, planet Tantalus 5. Mission, routine investigation and report as per ship surgeon's medical log. As for my last entry, it seems I will get to meet Dr. Adams at last. However, I would have preferred other circumstances.
Enterprise log. First Officer Spock, acting captain. I must now use an ancient Vulcan technique to probe into Van Gelder's tortured mind.
Captain's log, stardate 1512.2. On our 3rd day of star mapping, an unexplained cubical object blocked our vessel's path. On the bridge, Mr. Spock immediately ordered general alert. My location, sick bay. Quarterly physical check. Captain's log, stardate 1513.8. Star maps reveal no indication of habitable planets nearby. Origin and purpose of the cube still unknown. We have been here, held motionless, for 18 hours. Captain's log, stardate 1514.0. The cube has been destroyed. Ship's damage, minor. But my next decision, major. Probe on ahead, or turn back. Captain's log, stardate 1514.1. The Enterprise is in tow. To this point, no resistance has been offered. My plan? A show of resignation. Balok's tractor beam has to be a heavy drain of power on a small ship. Question, will he grow careless? Captain's log, stardate 3012.4. Despite our best efforts to disengage computers, the Enterprise is still locked on a heading for the mysterious planet Talos 4. Meanwhile, as required by Starfleet General Orders, a preliminary hearing on Lieutenant Commander Spock is being convened. And in all the years of my service, this is the most painful moment I've ever faced. Captain's log, stardate 3012.6. General Court-Martial convened. Mr. Spock has again waived counsel and has entered a plea of guilty. Captain's log, supplemental. Mr. Spock, on trial for mutiny, has forced the court to accept unusual evidence. On our monitor screen, the voyage of Captain Pike and the Enterprise to the one forbidden world in all the galaxy. Personal log, stardate 3013.1. I find it hard to believe the events of the past 24 hours, or the plea of Mr. Spock standing General Court-Martial. Personal log, stardate 3013.2. Reconvening Court-Martial of Mr. Spock, and the strangest trial evidence ever heard aboard a starship. From the mysterious planet now only 1 hour ahead of us, The story of Captain Pike's imprisonment there. Strange evidence from the past. How the Telosians, planning to breed a society of human slaves, tempted Captain Pike with the Earthwoman they held in captivity. And as she appeared to him in many forms, each more exciting than the last, Pike was beginning to weaken. Captain's log, stardate 2817.6. Starship Enterprise diverted from scheduled course. Purpose? To confirm discovery by Dr. Thomas Slayton of an extraordinary new synthetic food which would totally end the threat of famine on Cygnia Minor, a nearby Earth colony. Captain's log, stardate 2818.9. There are many questions in my mind. Too many, perhaps. About the actor Caridian and his daughter. For personal reasons, I'm almost afraid to learn the answers. Captain's log, stardate 2819.1. Ship's Officer Riley's condition worsening. Dr. McCoy making lab analysis to determine cause and antidote. Entire crew deeply concerned.
Lieutenant Riley sufficiently recovered to be discharged, but Captain is ordered in restricted to sick bay to prevent contact with passenger who calls himself Caridian and is suspected of being Kodos, the executioner, and of murdering the lieutenant's family.
Captain's log, stardate 2819.8. Suspect under surveillance. Strategic areas under double guard. Performance of the Caridian players taking place as scheduled. Captain's log, stardate 1709.2. Patrolling outposts guarding the neutral zone between planets Romulus and Remus and the rest of the galaxy received emergency call from Outpost 4. The USS Enterprise is moving to investigate and assist. Captain's log, stardate 1709.6. We are at the neutral zone. Have lost contact with the intruder. No reaction on our motion sensors, but believe the Romulan vessel to be somewhere close by, with all engines and systems shut down. The Enterprise is also playing this silent waiting game in hope of regaining contact. Captain's log, supplemental. Now motionless for 9 hours, 47 minutes. Captain's log, stardate 3025.3. We are orbiting an uninhabited planet in the Omicron Delta region. A planet remarkably like Earth, or how we remember Earth to be. Park-like, beautiful, green, flowers, trees, green lawns, quiet and restful. Almost too good to be true. Captain's log, stardate 3025.8. Investigation of this increasingly unusual planet continues, and we are seeing things that cannot possibly exist, yet they are undeniably real. Captain's log, supplemental. All contact with the Enterprise has been lost. We're trapped here. Our ship's surgeon, my personal friend, is dead. We're certain now that whatever we're facing is terribly real. Captain's log, stardate 2821.5. En route to Marcus 3 with a cargo of medical supplies. Our course leads us past Murasaki 312, a quasar-like formation, vague, undefined, a priceless opportunity for scientific investigation. On board is Galactic High Commissioner Ferris, overseeing the delivery of the medicines to Marcus 3. Captain's log, stardate 2821.7. The electromagnetic phenomena known as Murasaki 312 whirls like some angry blight in space, a depressive reminder that 7 of our shipmates still have not been heard from. Equally bad, the effect has rendered our normal searching systems useless. Without them, we are blind and almost helpless. Captain's log, stardate 2822.3. We continue to search, but I find it more difficult each moment to ward off a sense of utter futility and great loss. Captain's log, stardate 2823.1. Our landing parties are on the surface of Taurus 2, and we continue to hope. Instruments are only slowly returning to an operable condition as the ion storm slowly disperses. On the ship, we can only wait helplessly. Captain's log, supplement. The search parties have returned to the ship, and the Columbus is on its way back. I have been compelled to abandon the search.
Ship's log, stardate 2124.5. First Officer Spock reporting for Captain James Kirk. We are orbiting the lone, unrecorded planet in the star desert. For 4 hours, we have made every possible instrument sweep, but Captain Kirk and Helmsman Sulu remain unaccounted for. I have placed the ship on red alert. Captain's log, stardate 2125.7. Science Officer Spock reporting for Captain Kirk. We have completed 14th orbit of this planet, without establishing contact with our missing officers or the parties sent to find them. Subspace communications remain blocked. However, by diverting impulse power to our sensors, we have made them operable, and we have detected one small area on the surface which seems relatively stable.
Captain's log, stardate 2126.1, delayed report. The whole bridge crew are the unwilling guests of the creature who calls himself Trelane. We are weaponless, powerless, and our only hope of escape with the Enterprise lies in playing his games. I've decided to make my move with the Field of Honor game, and everything depends on my one chance with the ancient dueling pistol.
Captain's log, stardate 2126.3. First Officer Spock reporting. Still no word from Captain Kirk on the surface below us. Waiting time is almost up. I will soon be forced to attempt departure as per instructions.
Captain's log, stardate 3045.6. The Enterprise has responded to a call from Earth Observation Outpost on Cestus 3. On landing, we have discovered that the outpost has been destroyed. Captain's log, supplement. We have beamed back to the Enterprise and immediately set out in pursuit of the alien vessel. It appears to be headed towards a largely unexplored section of the galaxy. Captain's log, stardate 3046.2. We are in hot pursuit of the alien vessel which destroyed the Earth outpost on Cestus 3. Prize is dead in space, stopped cold during her pursuit of an alien raider by mysterious forces. And I have been somehow whisked off the bridge and placed on the surface of an asteroid, facing the captain of the alien ship. Weaponless, I face the creature the Metrones called a Gorn. Large, reptilian, like most humans, I seem to have an instinctive revulsion to reptiles. I must fight to remember that this is an intelligent, highly advanced individual, the captain of a starship like myself. Undoubtedly, a dangerously clever opponent. This is Captain James Kirk of the starship Enterprise. Whoever finds this, please get it to Starfleet Command. I'm engaged in personal combat with a creature apparently called a Gorn. He's immensely strong. Already he has withstood attacks from me that would have killed a human being. Fortunately, though strong, he's not agile. The agility and, I hope, the cleverness is mine. The Metrones, the creatures that sent us both here, said that the surface of the planet provides the raw material to construct weapons. There's very little here: scrub brush, rocks, an abundance of mineral deposits, but no weapons in the conventional sense. Still, I need to find one. Bare-handed, against the Gorn, I have no chance. A large deposit of diamonds on the surface, perhaps the hardest substance known in the universe. Beautifully crystallized and pointed, but too small to be useful as a weapon. An incredible fortune in stones, yet I would trade them all for a hand phaser or a good solid club. Yet the Metrons said there would be weapons, if I could find them. Where? What kind? This may be my last entry. I am almost exhausted. Unless I find the weapon the Metron mentioned, I have very little time left. Native sulfur, diamonds, this place is a mineralogist's dream. Yet, there is something about sulfur. Something very old, something... If only I could remember. Captain's log, stardate 3113.2. We were en route to Starbase 9 for resupply when a black star of high gravitational attraction began to drag us toward it. It required all warp power in reverse to pull us away from the star. But like snapping a rubber band, the breakaway sent us plunging through space, out of control, to stop here, wherever we are. Captain's log supplemental. Engineering officer Scott informs warp engines damaged, but can be made operational and re-energized. Captain's log, stardate 3113.7. Our engines are being repaired, but we are still locked in time. And we have aboard a passenger whom we do not want, and we cannot return.
Captain's log, stardate 3113.9. First Officer Spock recording. Due to an unfortunate accident, we have taken aboard another unwanted passenger.
Captain's log, stardate 3114.1. We must make an attempt to break free of this time, or we and our reluctant passengers will remain its prisoners. All we have is a theory, and a few facts. Captain's log, stardate 2947.3. We have been through a severe ion storm. One crewman is dead. Ship's damage is considerable. I have ordered a non-scheduled layover on Starbase 11 for repairs. A full report of damages was made to the commanding officer of Starbase 11, Commodore Stone. Captain's log, stardate 2948.5. Starship Enterprise remains in orbit around Starbase 11. Full repairs in progress. I have been ordered to stand by on Starbase 11 until the inquiry into the death of Lieutenant Commander Finney can be conducted. I am confident of the outcome. Captain's log, stardate 2948.9. The officers who will comprise my court-martial board are proceeding to Starbase 11. Meanwhile, repairs on the Enterprise are almost complete. Captain's log, stardate 2949.9. The evidence presented by the visual playback to my general court-martial was damning. I suspect even my attorney has begun to doubt me. Captain's log, stardate 2950.1. After due consideration, the General Court-Martial has reconvened on board the Enterprise. Sam Coggins quietly had gone ashore to bring Jamie Finney on board. We both felt that Jamie's presence would make Finney easier to handle in the event Finney really were alive. Beaten and sobbing, Finney told me where he had sabotaged the prime energy circuits. The damage he had caused was considerable but not irreparable. With luck, I would be able to effect repairs before our orbit decayed completely. Captain's log, stardate 3156.2. While orbiting planet Beta 3, trying to find some trace of the starship Archon that disappeared here 100 years ago, a search party consisting of 2 Enterprise officers were sent to the planet below. Mr. Sulu has returned, but in a highly agitated mental state. His condition requires I beam down with an additional search detail. Captain's log, stardate 3157.4. The Enterprise, still under attack by some sort of heat rays from the surface of Beta 3, is now being commanded by Engineering Officer Scott. The shore party has been taken by the creature called Landru. Captain's log, stardate 3158.7. The Enterprise is preparing to leave Beta 3 in star system C-111. Sociologist Lindstrom is remaining behind with a party of experts who will help restore the planet's culture to a human form. Captain's log, stardate 3141.9. A full hour has elapsed since interception of the strange vessel. Our presence alongside is still being completely ignored. Although our sensors continue to show signs of equipment and life aboard, there's been no indication of danger to us. Captain's log, supplemental. Alongside the SS Botany Bay for 10 hours now. A boarding party of engineering and medical specialists are now completing their examination of the mysterious vessel. Attempts to revive other sleepers await our success or failure with the casualty already beamed over. Dr. McCoy is frankly amazed at his physical and recuperative power. Stardate 3142.8. They have my ship, discarding their own worthless vessel. Only moments of air left on the bridge now. Commendations recommended for Lieutenant Uhura, Technicians First Class Tooley and Harrison. Lieutenant Spinelli. And of course, Mr. Spock. I take full responsibility.
I don't think I finished that.
Stardate 31. I take full responsibility. I take full...
Oh, yeah, I didn't... Sorry.
Captain's log, stardate 3143.3. Control of the Enterprise has been regained. I wish my next decisions were no more difficult. Khan and his people. What a waste to put them in a reorientation center. And what do I do about MacGyvers? Captain's log, stardate 3192.1. The Enterprise is en route to Star Cluster NGC-321. Objective, to open diplomatic relations with the civilizations known to be there. We have sent a message to Eminiar-7, principal planet of the Star Cluster, informing them of our friendly intentions. We are awaiting an answer. Captain's log, stardate 3192.5. Now in standard orbit around planet Eminiar-7. My orders are clear. We must establish diplomatic relations at all cost. Preparing to beam down to planet's surface. Captain's log. Delayed. The Enterprise, in orbit about MER 7, has been declared a casualty of an incredible war fought by computers. I and my landing party, though apparently not included as casualties aboard the Enterprise, are confined on the planet's surface, awaiting what?
Ship's log, stardate 3193.0. Chief Engineer Scott recording. The captain and first officer are overdue and missing on the surface of MER 7. I have taken standard precautionary measures while we continue our attempts to locate them.
Captain's log, stardate 3417.3. We thought our mission to Omicron Ceti 3 would be an unhappy one. We had expected to find no survivors of the agricultural colony there. Apparently, our information was incorrect. Captain's log, supplemental. We have been ordered by Starfleet Command to evacuate the colony on Omicron 3. However, the colony leader, Elias Sandoval, has refused all cooperation and will not listen to any arguments.
Okay.
Captain's log, stardate 3417.5. The pod plants have spread spores throughout the ship, carried by the ventilation system. Under their influence, my crew is deserting to join the Omicron colony, and I can't stop them. I don't know why I have not been infected, nor can I get Dr. McCoy to explain the physical, psychological aspects of the infection. Captain's log, stardate 3417.7. Except for myself, all crew personnel have transported to the surface of the planet. Mutinied. Lieutenant Uhura has effectively sabotaged the communication station. I can only contact the surface of the planet. The ship can be maintained in orbit for several months, but even with automatic controls, I cannot pilot her alone. In effect, I am marooned here. I'm beginning to realize it. Just how big this ship really is. How quiet. I don't know how to get my crew back. How to counteract the effect of the spores. I don't know what I can offer against paradise. Captain's log, supplemental. I think I've discovered the answer. But to carry out my plan entails considerable risk. Mr. Spock is much stronger than the ordinary human being. Aroused, his great physical strength could kill. But it's a risk I'll have to take. Captain's log, stardate 3196.1. A distress call from the Pergeum production station on Janus 6 has brought the Enterprise to that long-established colony. Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, and I have beamed down to meet with Chief Engineer Vanderberg, administrative head of Janus 6. Captain's log, stardate 3198.4. We have reached Organia and established standard orbit. No signs of hostile activities in this area. Captain's log, stardate 3201.7. Mr. Spock and I are trapped on the planet Organia, which is in the process of being occupied by the forces of the Klingon Empire. The Organians have provided us with native clothing in the hopes that we may be taken for Organians. Captain's log, stardate 3087.6. While investigating an uncharted planet, the Enterprise, and at least this entire quadrant of space, has been subjected to violent, unexplained stress and force. Sensors have reported the presence of a human being on the planet below who might be connected with the phenomenon. With my first officer and a security team, I have set out in search of him. Captain's log, stardate 3088.3. We continue to orbit the dead planet, which seems to be the source of the phenomenon which has struck the Enterprise and all sections of the galaxy once again. As for Lazarus, the story he tells me about the humanoid continues to trouble me. Captain's log, stardate 3088.7. We are no closer to finding an answer to the strange phenomenon than we were at the beginning. Not only have 2 of my crewmen been attacked, 2 of our dilithium crystals are missing, and without them, the Enterprise cannot operate at full power. They must be found. Captain's log, supplemental entry. 2 drops of cordrazine can save a man's life. 100 times that amount has just accidentally been pumped into Dr. McCoy's body, and in strange, wild frenzy he has fled the ship's bridge. All connecting decks have been placed on alert. We have no way of knowing if the madness is permanent or temporary, or in what direction it will drive McCoy. Captain's log, no stardate. For us, time does not exist. McCoy, back somewhere in the past, has effected a change in the course of time. All Earth history has been changed. There is no Starship Enterprise. We have only one chance. We have asked the Guardian to show us Earth's history again. Spock and I will go back into time ourselves and attempt to set right whatever it was that McCoy changed. Captain's log, stardate 3287.2. The mass insanity we have tracked across this section of the galaxy seems to have already touched Deneva. That planet, colonized over a century ago, is one of the most beautiful in the galaxy. Captain's log, supplemental. Whatever the creatures are, they have apparently taken over all the inhabitants of Deneva. Meanwhile, ship surgeon Dr. McCoy is examining a strange puncture wound left by one of the creatures on Mr. Spock's back. Captain's log, stardate 3289.8. I am faced with the most difficult decision of my life. Unless we find a way to destroy the creatures without killing their human hosts, my command responsibilities will force me to kill over 1 million people.
Okay, that's the end of this part. I'm gonna do them in season, so that was all of season 1. Next episode will be all of season 2. The episode after that will be all of season 3.